How's it going, Kingsman? Welcome back to another Napoleonic Total War 3 battle. Hope you guys are all doing well. We got a glorious fight. Oh, look at them marching past all the poppies, and man, what a scene, you know? So much beauty with so much bloodshed. No, but this one was one that I fought in. I can't remember if it was from a stream, to be honest. But if it was from a stream, well, you get to see it again, and you get to hear what our thoughts were on it, and also maybe you'll get to see what's on the left side, because I had no idea what was happening. On the side, I was the far right. I was 6-point tie roll. Oh, we have a cav charge. So we have the coalition is 4 UK players, all UK. We went a little bit different. I went obviously 6-point France tie roll. We have a 8-point France España and a 8-point France Egypt, and then a 7-point Russia Sud. Now this one was a very vicious fight. I think both sides played pretty well on the battlefield. These guys are pretty cool walking through this field, and I apologize if my voice sounds like a certain, like, you know, like that. I'm fighting off a cold, I think, or just terrible allergies. It's allergy season for New Mexico, so it kind of really sucks. So I apologize. Trying to drink some hot drinks and not have that happen, but you know, it's gonna happen. I just apologize ahead of time and try not to do too much hemming and hawing. But anyway, so the plan was I was gonna take up the right flank here. I brought some artillery. I can't remember how much I brought now. Maybe it was just the 8-pounder. I feel like I brought more than just an 8-pounder. I brought a lot of skirms. No, here's another one. I got our 4-pounder as well. So I brought like 5 guns total. I'm going for this right flank. I'm going to hold this right flank. We were assuming that the coalition, the UK, would be mostly in this side, forming up, trying to take the town. France on Russia Sud was maybe going to push up, try to take this grove, or at least take a flank. You can see that the terrain was pretty favorable for us. On this hill, at least, like if we needed to, we could set up here. We obviously maybe wanted to push up to this grove at least. You can see the cavalry is kind of standing where we want it to be, or the left side want it to be. But the UK are definitely going to be very close to this fight. They definitely don't want to give this up. And I'm sure they're going to start getting very aggressive here. Now, I was getting pushed. It looked like just one UK player at the time. You know, but there is another general, which I was getting a little nervous about. I'm a small 6-pointer. I cannot take on 2 armies myself. I am a supporting army. I will say, though, for those who like playing France, 6-point France tie roll, very, very good for being a 6-pointer. Like, it has some powerful forces that you can bring with this. Like, it's definitely a very good 6-pointer. If you need to bring a lower point, it is a very good one to bring, as well as I think 7-point Russia Sud is actually pretty good, very beefy faction. You can bring a good amount as Russia Sud, and you can bring this freaking massive Dragoon unit, 138 Dragoons. My goodness, that is gonna be probably playing a crucial role in this fight. Now, he did bring some pioneers here, some grenadiers, and some light infantry to kind of flank those. A large unit of line infantry, some skirmishers, and actually all the units he can bring are rather chunky. Like, actually really, really large. He has some artillery as well, some 6-pounders, and 5-pounders, an Austrian gun, 2 guns on that one. The skirms, guys, is the secret to our success. Artillery and skirms are our secret to winning against... Ooh, this infantry's pushing up, volleying these cavaliers. But like I said before, the skirmishers, which you can see, we have a lot for Egypt, a lot of skirms pushing up. That is what's going to really hurt the coalition. That is what's going to hurt the UK the most. The artillery to focus down the small units they have. Although they had a lot of really good units here. They had some Toros, Coldstream Guard. They had a lot of guard units here, which is going to make it a lot more difficult for us. And these guys can shoot. They can turn on a dime and shoot you. So you have to be very, very cautious with how you're doing, you know, the fight. Now, I am seeing on this side, the UK, I mean, they're pushing around the flank here. They're pushing up in front. I mean, it's 2 armies, guys. There's 2 UK armies here. And they want this little 6-point Tyrol army. They want them. They wanted me. Actually, that sounds really weird the way I said that. But, you know what I mean. So I have some squares in the back. You know, I'm trying to defend my army, make sure that they can't push up here. Sadly, my L2, L3s are the pack that the slowest. Everything else is pretty stinking fast for the most part. I have like L4, L5, I think. But I have this nice hill, you know. We don't have the town yet. My ally is pushing up. España is pushing up for the town. Not going to be super easy to hold because we can get attacked from an entire range of positions by the coalition here. Now the rest of France over here is advancing. I think they're trying to shoot for this grove. It looks like the UK may be actually pushing into the grove as well. They have some Fusiliers. Just a lot of really good units, guys. Really good units pushing in, so it's going to be a rough fight. We have some skirmishers already pouring in some volleys here against the UK, forcing them back. We did take this LOC. He put in some Voltigeurs. I am getting a little nervous about getting pushed on the flank here. I'm trying to navigate my troops around. But my ally has made it to the town. So... But we do have France pushing in here, but the UK have gotten there first, which is going to make this a little bit more of a challenge here. They have the high ground. We pulled Ben Kenobi on the UK, or on the French. So now France is going to have to, probably spread out some skirmishers. I mean, I love this screen of skirmishers here. It's going to make the UK's life a little bit more miserable. Yeah, they have some thick, chunky lines in the back. Look at these guys. These guys are ready. Ready to stand. It's really, really pretty with the poppies. I'm just gonna say that. Very, very pretty. But yeah, it looks like France is going around here. In fact, he's gonna push in here. Maybe push in some of these chasseurs. Very fast, mobile units. You don't want to send dragoons in. Oh, do these guys can form square? Yep. The Marines of the Royal Guard. Very nice. Has some pioneers to back him up. I love that he's pushing constantly, trying to force this UK that cannot move as fast as he can using the road. He's going to get around them, which is a very good strategy here. Pushing and using the road, pushing the flank, constantly pushing the flank here. Now, we are starting to see on this side, I have some skirmishers pushed up to try to push back the UK. They are starting to form up to attack me. And I'm not liking it. Guys, I am not liking... So they were discussing, I think, that I should protect, obviously, España's flank, but I do not need to get destroyed by 2 UK armies. So I am starting to pull back. We have nice high ground across the road. He has a bunch of artillery there as well. You know, that could be a super crucial part of this fight. France managing to get into the forest here. And getting very aggressive here. A lot of grenadiers. He has skirmishers as well. All on the flank here. That is what's really going to tear up this coalition. Still pushing far down the road. The UK have to fall back. They have to fall back so they don't get outflanked by Russia-Sud. I mean, France, Russia-Sud. I mean, it's a genius strategy. I love this, pushing them out of the forest without even really having to fight for the forest. Just catching them out of position, because if they don't fall back, they are going to get surrounded. So it's a win-win. Over on this side, against the other UK forces, we are pulling back everything. Pulling back my infantry, pulling back my artillery. Obviously, I can't fall back everything all at once because artillery is rather slow. So I'm using my skirmishers as a screen as the UK start pushing across. In the town here, the coalition has not really made an advance, but they have troops marching down this road, so they're going to be getting into the town. I mean, that's what you're assuming, is they would try to take this LOC. It's very tough to not take this LOC and fight around it. Now, we do have some cavalry charging forward, but we already start shooting them. Has some cav to protect that. It's a bit of a nerve-wracking experience, guys, trying to rush everything off, trying to maintain a safe line and keep all your forces intact. But here we go. Oh, we have some cavalry getting charged by some lines here. They're going to get themselves out of there. Extracting themselves from the forest, but they have been pushed back. First successful maneuver without very much loss of life. At this point, we made a decision. Artillery is going to set up here. You set up your artillery, guys, to force back the enemy. And you can see we have a very good position here with the artillery on this whole advancing UK line. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to send some reserves over here to help out as the UK are starting to push into the corner of the outskirts of this town. They are engaging a lot of skirmishers for Egypt. And here is the left push. As the coalition are now falling back, getting some more favorable ground. They are trying to kite this Russia Sud player who is pushing up. They have to keep falling back until they can reform to face them, because they have an exposed flank to Russia's side at this point. Oh yeah, I did screw this up. I totally screwed it up. Didn't pay any attention, and he got one of my skirms, unfortunately. I was a little bit upset about that.
Our men are running.
And I ran off one other skirms trying to chase him down. Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. Man, I did not help myself at all. That was not the greatest of plays, but I'm still running, trying to get away. Artillery is starting to fire here. We're probably going to force back the coalition. I mean, that's what the artillery is meant for, you know. But nothing really that interesting here. The UK probably going to have to... They can't extend themselves too far, or else they're going to hit the LOC or this whole town that the French are in, and it's going to make it very difficult. Oh, we have some cav charges here. Camels. Oh my goodness, they're going straight in. Oh no, the poor camels. They look kind of comical. But France is, oh my goodness, they are pushing forward the chunky units that can take this and getting very aggressive here. Oh, we have some cavalry pushing up. They're going to form a square, I'm sure. Oof. Yep. France still pushing around the flank here, but UK trying to push against the French, who got honestly a little too close maybe, but now a lot of pushing forward here on this side. This is such a huge unit. This is crazy. This unit is going to be able to stand against the UK for quite some time. And now the coalition seems to have formed up. This is where they're going to be standing to fight. At the same time, though, I mean, France still pushing the flank here, force them to have to constantly, you know, constantly reform and reform. Now we are starting to get the coalition pushing into the town. We have some cavalry charging forward here. Unfortunately, the town making it a little more difficult for these skirmishers to actually get in engagement, but this line of infantry is still shooting them. And they don't want to lose their cav to such a small, like one unit. Doesn't seem worth it. But yeah, España getting ready to take the full weight of the flanking coalition, who is now shifting over. The coalition does have some good positioning here. They have this hill, which their 5 units are pushing up with cav support. And now is going to finally be the battle. I think France is still going for that flank, trying to go for the far side, but at the same time, his units are now going to be out in the open, which means he'll be able to tie up more and more UK troops as time goes on. These very large units of mercenaries should be able to stand for a little while, hopefully, while the French make some more moves elsewhere. They're probably not going to win this fight against the coalition, though. You can see our artillery is set up in a grand battery. We're just going to start forcing back the UK here. This is a very good call on their part, not attacking up this hill. I mean, we would have destroyed them with all the artillery we can mass up here. We had a lot of it. But they are starting to make some advances here. Looks like they have their guard units up in front. France is going to have a tough time here taking them on. This line is stretching. The UK now, I think, feel like they have finally been able to stop retreating. Now they have a full line set up, but they don't have a lot of reserves. I would expect maybe one of these units maybe to roll over to this side to brace, as there's a lot of French massing up here. Plenty of reserves, plenty of large units. I'd try the Russia Sud now, honestly. I mean, they got large units. I like that. I actually really like that. Over in the center here, France, Egypt, not looking too hot here. Like I said, they're taking on some really good UK quality troops. Now's the time to send forward the skirmishers and try to, you know, push them up here. The UK are making a full attack now on the town. You have the UK-Portugal player shifting his forces entirely over. I think they have definitely found a new target here. And they're starting to exchange fire through some trees and through houses. Now, with them having fallen back so much, gonna start pushing forward some skirmishers here to start trying to pick away at their flank, making it more difficult for them to advance without fear of getting outflanked. I'm pushing forward more troops. A lot more of my troops, especially grenadiers, are shifting over here to help out with this UK push, which is becoming quite apparent that they're definitely advancing. I mean, they're getting pretty deep into the city already. I see over here some skirmishers up against the UK. UK is not wanting to take this fight. Russia suddenly is starting to advance, but the UK do not want to take this one. So they're going to fall back. Maybe it's the artillery. I don't know. The artillery set up in an excellent position here, right on the hill. More artillery putting up in the front place, or the front lines, man. Front place? What kind of talk is that? Good grief. Looks like we have some forces getting out of the LSC. I think he did not like that his forces were, you know, getting surrounded. He has abandoned this LLC and is going to fall back so he can get into volleys here and shoot. We do have some UK forming up here to start volleying up the enemy. The French, I guess, their enemy, not my enemy. That was my ally. But now, obviously, we're taking this pretty seriously. The UK are pushing in on the town. They're falling back over here. In fact, I think they're totally falling back to the other slope. They're giving up this low point because they actually do not have the high ground. Or they did have the high ground, but they're going to fall back to this high ground and have a little bit better, more of a solid line here. Now, we do have some UK troops bayonet charging here out of the LSC. Pouring out of this LSC to bayonet charge to stop the French from being able to get a good volley fire here. Yeah, things not looking too hot here. I don't get how these troops are even... Where are these troops? Oh, no, they're not going to fire. Oh, man. I don't know how this French line had charged both of, I mean, this UK line charged both, but things are not looking too good, guys. We've been driven out. I mean, we haven't lost a lot of troops yet, but UK are obviously making a very serious advance in this town. Over here, it looks like things aren't looking too terrible at all. Both sides still have not really inflicted tons of losses on the other, so it's still a anyone's game. But we've definitely gotten pushed back. I have some grenadiers ready to attack here if the French or if the UK try pushing up. I'm going to bayonet charge them. Oh, yes, some skirms really close to the enemy here. I am pushing across on this hill. I'm actually pushing up my artillery as well so that we can get some really good shots on the enemy. But, I mean, the coalition is constantly pushing forward here. And the problem is if you try charging in here, they're going to point blank you and just obliterate your line and break you. So, you know, it's like one of those things where you can't just easily make a charge. This fight seems to be very dead even. So, you know, something's going to have to give. One flank or the other is going to have to break here. And finally, we're starting to pour in some volleys. It took a second for the guys to actually start shooting. But just so many gaps. So many gaps here. And the UK are pushing forward here. I think actually maybe trying to put some pressure on the French Egypt Corps. Same time, falling back over here. This is an excellent place for the guns, artillery to set up. And the 6-pounder is firing here. No, even what they're firing at. But, man, it's going to get very... ooh. This general's gotten hit by some artillery. So we are falling back here, totally falling back. We do not like that they're able to get some angles on us. And this fight taken a little more seriously. I'm pushing up artillery here. I'm going to push up all my artillery batteries. I have all my skirms to hit this right side. I should have been pressuring this side a little bit more in hindsight. Taking pressure off my ally. By this point in time, he's not looking too amazing. The French, we are holding all these gaps, but the UK are pushing across and massing up quite a lot of reserves on this side. They can easily start swinging across and trying to hit our flank. And that's exactly what it seems like they're starting to do. We have a general movement. Look at the UK Portugal pushing across so many troops. That's all they're waiting for, and now they're making a general movement. Artillery, though, really helping out. You can see really focusing down this side. The artillery was sitting right there. 8-pounders just tearing up this coalition line of well-placed artillery. Over here on this side, I mean, it's just a regular line fight. There's nothing really super spectacular. All the line fights are pretty awesome. The coalition, man, the UK are pushing even closer and closer and closer here. Unfortunately, our guys won't fire. This is a bad musket bug. They do finally get a shot off, but you know, it's not going to be enough probably. So yeah, we're pushing up right flank. I should be pushing a little more aggressively, but man, there's such chunky units for the UK compared to us. We're starting to fall back everywhere. And the UK are starting to get an edge here. You give them an inch, the UK will take a mile. At least in this battle they are, because they are pushing up. As we're falling back, they're pushing up, and if they can get in a line, they are going to start eating away and chewing away at our lines. Now, Russia's side has plenty of reserves here. They're not even really engaging with the entire army. They are just picking away at parts of the UK line. Parts of the UK line aren't even doing anything. Skirmishers picking apart right here. This is a deadly part for the UK. This skirmishers are really going to do well. But here we go. The coalition pushing troops constantly across here. We are pushing up artillery here. I'm going to try to probably start throwing artillery shells at this line here. I need to get ready to defend my ally, because it's not looking too hot. These units are larger than our French units. And now this French line is going to start getting shredded up. They're pushing forward a lot of troops into this one area where the artillery is just having a field day with the UK guns, or with UK infantry. France is once again reforming here. And the UK are going to pour out. We should have stopped right here and poured in volley when he starts pushing across. But, you know, he's going to push out. And we're going to have to form up a line. I do have some reserves here, a lot of grenadiers and that such. I have a couple units here to stop and be able to just pour out everything. I mean, with artillery now firing, he's going to fall back his troops all the way. I should have put my artillery like a little further, get my cav, and just push him back. All right, so things aren't looking as good. I mean, look, the Russia's side is pushing troops now, reinforcements going down to engage. I mean, these guys have been firing at a lot of troops for quite some time, so now it's time to push forward some lines. It looks like the skirmishers have taken quite a beating. Now things aren't looking too good. We're in a line fight with some UK, and they are not taking losses. They are not dropping as fast as we want to see them drop. I have some reserves I'm going to push forward. And what I was thinking at this point was we have to get into melee. We have to. That's the only way we can win against the UK is we have to close in. I have a lot of Grens. My ally has cavalry. We have some dragoons. We just need to get into melee. It's the only way it's going to win. I mean, our ally isn't making super great gains. They aren't losing. So both sides still very dead even. It's very beautiful, though. Very, very beautiful on this side of this fight, though. But things aren't looking too hot for us right now. I'm pushing up some lines of or grenadiers of my own. I was hoping to be able to charge in with the bayonet charge. But this line infantry, this tow row, whatever it is just ready. Oh, hold that thought, because we have some infantry charging. It looks like France is actually making a move here with some grenadiers. Pushing forward a lot of troops. A very large unit for France. Egypt pushing forward. We have the camels pushing forward as well. Breaking one, not two lines here. Now we do have a counter charge by the light dragoons. Ooh, they're actually hitting, running down their own troops, and they hit a square as well. Excellently formed. It's such a large unit, guys. They're able to put infantry inside of it. That's crazy. Oh, another huge charge. That 138-man unit charging the UK line. Oh, and they were able to form square in time. And now the French are pushing forward lines and bayonet charges, going in, using the road to quickly get into the UK's lines, even charging on the flank here. So while our fight isn't going maybe the greatest at this point, the whole flank of the UK is pushing backwards. And look at that, UK mass breaking here, falling back. More cavalry trying to go in maybe and kind of buffer this line. I mean, the UK actually formed some squares here, but some grenadiers charged it as well. We still have not really done anything on our side. We need to now. The nice thing is our allies winning, it would appear. So, you know, not a bad outcome at all. As for, oh my goodness, the UK shattered. They have to throw forward some of their elites to kind of reform their line. They're even gonna have to probably fall back a little bit here. Now, his line is withering. Espana's line is withering underneath this fire, so they are not going to win this fight. They are just, they're getting chopped up. I'm sending forward some skirmers, try to start whittling down this force. We got to make a move against the UK. While their ally is busy, they're sending forward their reserves to patch up this huge gap in the lines that France has created. This may be the time now to attack and make some moves. Oh, some cavalry. Man, they're getting so many good cav charges on the UK. Not able to form squares. Now, this is a Chasseur Cheval, and it's probably going to get routed. Oh, more French troops charging in. Such a huge unit for France, Egypt. We have some horse guards pushing forward, so hopefully there's some cavalry to combat this cav. Yep, here we go. We got some engagement here. France, UK pushing forward here. I'm pushing forward a lot more troops here. I'm getting ready for a move, actually, in the town. But you can see my ally is pretty much broken. We're almost totally dead on this side. The nice thing is the coalition is losing over here with that huge mass rout.
Our men are running, sir.
My troops starting to break against that withering fire. And you know what we decided to do? Cav charge it up. We have gaps in the lines. Or maybe not. I'm sending over my dragoons. Boy, there's a lot of troops still engaged here. UK is sending over some more of their line infantry as well. Egypt, Russia's Sud pushing forward troops of theirs. Some Austrians. Here we go. I do a cav charge against the UK. They do not even form square in time. And then I send forth the my grenadiers. This is one chunky unit. He has some cav that is charging this other UK line. And this is the time when we got to use our melee, guys. This is it. Desperation is spurring us on to take on so many UK forces. I wish I had caught the actual charge. But here go my grenadiers, and he is charging all along the line. The UK getting countercharged. And things are starting to look up, guys. The UK are on the back foot. They still have a very solid line here with the reserves they put forward. We broke the first lineup from the UK. Now I'm just gonna... why am I not sending this in? I'm pushing forward troops here as well, trying to just start flanking them, throwing forward some lines. I lost my dragoons, I think. But they did the job. They held the UK in place so that we could attack. France actually having some breakage though here. The UK still putting up quite the fight. So they're sending forward reserves, even some cavalry, but I am pursuing constantly the UK in this town. Smacking in the lines here, charging forward. It's the melee. That gets some good flanking fire on me though. Man, they're getting good flanking fire. Look at that. Desperately gonna send forward some lines. They're definitely gonna die. Nice counter charge by the UK trying to stop this onslaught. I'm gonna charge in against this unit while this unit holds their other line of retreat. But they have cavalry now in the town. I'm gonna push forward my cav. Hopefully my lines get pushed forward. I could really use those infantry right about now. But I'm starting to run out of men here as this onslaught. You have some reserves here. They have some cavalry in the back lines. Oh, the UK. Oh, the stakes. Actually, it was a really nice charge. The UK are now counter-charging here. Oh man, how did I not notice that? But yeah, we are constantly pushing forward, guys, trying to drive them out of the town. If I had been able to collapse these troops in sooner, man, it would have been done so well. I would have done so well, but I've taken some pretty heavy losses. I'm throwing up what's left of my reserves. Line of engaged in the UK. UK actually able to dislocate themselves a little bit, or isolate themselves a little bit here. We have this line formed up on the right, facing Rush Sud. We do have some cavalry.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
If I remember correctly, the UK player that broke in the center dropped. So one or two of his units that was left. Where were they? I think that cavalry was his. Not sure. I'm not sure if there's any other troops that were his. But now the countercharge is beginning again. Man, my lines are exhausted. My lines are exhausted. I am spent, I think. Oh, I'm going to send some cavalry with some line infantry. Oh no, my cav, what is it doing? I'm trying to... The multitasking is getting to me. Here, the UK are still holding this hill against the Frenchmen. Look at this fight. That is rather epic. UK have still this right flank intact, but in the town, I think we've managed to for the most part, chase them off. And they're gonna finally retaking the town after probably losing over half of the Spain and Tyrol armies. I mean, the UK really beat the stuffing out of us for the longest time. That cav charge, I think, honestly, the cav charge was out of desperation because at that point, we didn't really know what to do on our side. It's like, well, I guess we gotta try a cav charge. We're about to lose. We do have a cav charge that hits a square here. Some Austrians. And the UK now forming up to, they're falling back. There is still remnants of the UK here and there.
Our men are running, sir.
But thankfully, we have been able to beat with... I have very few forces left. I think I have like 6 line infantry left. Maybe 7. 6, something smaller like that. Sadly, my Chasseur Cheval going to get charged by some really good quality light dragoons. And that's not going to go too well for us. Or for me, at least. More Chasseur Cheval. I don't think I'm going to make that one. But, you know... Yeah, look at that. We have more UK cav. No, once we mass routed my cavalry.
Our men are running, sir.
Yeah, I see had quite the amount of cav left. But we have retaken the town. Retaking the town, so I'll take it. Bloodbath here. That, I think, France, Russia, Sud, and France, Egypt are the ones who set the momentum, being able to charge. Once they started closing and engaging the UK on this left flank in the center, we were able to push on the right using our cavalry and line infantry. And I think that's where the battle kind of tipped back in our favor, because I think it was going terribly sour for us. Is there UK artillery? And now the UK have formed up again, guys. They are going to make it one brave last stand. I think they actually still were playing. Ooh, excuse me. They're still playing a little bit for LOC. They did in the beginning. I didn't show it, but there was a unit that we saw marching back this way. We knew they're going for LOC. So our plan was to push this 4-pointer because they're going for our 4-pointer. I think the player that dropped, though, sadly for them, was the one that was by the 4-pointer. So I think their plan was to try to hold us off so we couldn't get to this 4-pointer. Granted, there's 16 minutes left, so it could have worked. It could have worked. Who knows? But this 4-pointer player, the guy dropped. So his unit, his one last unit, was not able to go into the LOC. Now, like I said, who knows what would happen? They maybe would have moved more this way to defend their 4-pointer or not. I don't know. But right now, they're just trying to delay us still, because they still do have this 4-pointer, and they are marching towards it. So they are playing for a lock game at this point. We begin to realize that pretty quickly. But at first, we don't do anything. It's still a very strong, deadly UK army. Not something you want to get too mixed up in. All right, well, I think I'm gonna just fast forward a little bit because, man, what happened? All right, guys. Yeah, hiccups, I guess. Something. Allergy season has got me all sorts of messed up. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because I don't think we're doing anything at the moment. UK are trying to get away. We're trying to pursue them. They have Cav left, which is always not a good thing. I think he does charge them. Yeah, he does. Charges this horse. And they were stuck in the trees, and they get a back charge, so they break pretty quickly. Yeah, they broke almost immediately. This is what's left of the French army, guys. It'll be a Pyrrhic victory if we win this. And the UK did turn. We do have some cavalry charging for it. I mean, I don't know what they're going for, but they're going for something. They're running in front of every line, though. I bet you it was pathfinding. That was a rather odd charge right in front of all the lines. It's very show-offy, though. So we do have Russia Sud pushing forward here. They can try to cut off the UK. You can see the UK still pushing back more troops towards their 4-pointer. They have a delaying line, but now that line's going to fall back. This poor bloke UK army, or this UK force, is making a brave stand, but it is not enough. They're going to make us stand. A brave stand.
We have taken a building, sir.
Oh no. This brave general has been killed. And now they're going to definitely be falling back. They lost another general. I'm sure it was a general for an army that already broke. But here we go. We got some cavalry. Going to try to force these guys into a square. Oh. It's always a fun in games, guys, when you have to like retreat and you're trying to figure out, you know, like how to get away from the enemy without losing your army. Like the big part is like the whole like squares. If you force the enemy to a square formation, they can't be marching away from you. And that's where it becomes more interesting, because if you charge them, they form square. If your lines are close enough, then they can either volley them and cause them to break, or bayonet charge them and cause them to break. And right now, I think this cav unit plus this massive dragoon unit, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to force some of these UK forces. At some point, you almost need to just sacrifice a unit just so that the rest of the units can get away. Sacrificing this one brave UK line. Oh, they're actually going to charge this skirm unit. Unfortunately, they are too far away.
Has fallen to the enemy.
They are getting in this building. They put their best units in there too, of course. I mean, naturally. You have to. We're trying to push down the road. Russia Sud's trying to beat the UK. This is almost a fully fleshed out UK army still. There was a cav charge here. Light Dragoons versus the Dragoons of France, and the French Dragoons are definitely not coming out on top, especially with some line support helping them out. They're probably going to volley them up, plus a general probably to inspire. Yeah, they're going to break them. I'll tell you what, guys, this French army gave us what for. I mean, this UK army definitely was giving us what for. I mean, outnumbered, but we have taken so many losses here. We've taken so many losses that our armies are all patchy. They're all bits and pieces. Almost as big. With how large of units they have, we're almost the same size. Oh, look at this cheeky little... These 9 cav units. Just, you know, taking some shots, killing a couple units here, then riding away. So UK may actually try to... oh, this cav unit's dead. How many of them are there now? 8. Man, they only lost 1 and they killed 3. UK trying to get back around this LOC. I mean, it's a pioneer and a line infantry and some cavalry. He's putting his cav in between the UK and this LOC. I don't think they're going to take this with just a pioneer unit. We're going to need a lot more. UK lines are pretty good. And we do have Egypt. Oh man, they're getting really close. At the same time, we are trying to focus around the flank. And this battle is definitely going to come down to the timer at this point. I mean, they are holding off, and if we do not take this 4-pointer, guys, we're going to lose. We only have 1 point in the center, and that is it. We would lose if we don't take care of that. Now, cavalry engaged in the back. Finally broke that UK cav. Still not an easy fight here. Trying to flank the UK. We even have a bayonet charge going in against the UK, trying to run their troops away. And they managed to get themselves out of a bayonet charge. That's rather impressive. Oh my goodness. Look at these volleys they're dishing out. Look how many troops are left in some of these UK lines. This is not going to be that easy of a fight here. As our lines are just getting shredded up. We have a lot of skirms, but look at the death. Oh my goodness, they are dropping them. What an interesting looking, you know, line. Oh, we do have more lines still pushing on the flank here. Closing in, giving them the cold steel. But the UK are going to turn and start point blanking French lines, making this a little more difficult here. I'm trying to push forward my lines to basically reinforce this side. They're pulling back here. It's still a desperate fight. Finally broke some of those UK forces, but we have taken some losses of our own. And our center line is looking a little weak. Thankfully, we do have some reserves. I have my last remaining lines. Pushing up here, some brave Bavarians. And we do have the flank on them, but they keep turning and facing us, guys. And man, that volley that these guys can give is hell. They're able to just... look how big these units are. It's impressive how this player has managed to keep his army almost entirely intact. Over here, we're starting to... looks like they're trying to soften up this LOC and fire some artillery shots at it to maybe kill some of the UK units inside. Another UK unit maybe trying to go over reinforce it. They need to hold on to that 4-pointer if they want to win this. They have 5 minutes. 5 minutes to hold. Can they do it? Artillery starting to burst forth. Really starting to inflict some damage on this UK last stand. We have a lot of skirms, guys. And that seems to be the one thing that seems to really be helping us out. We have tons of skirms set up. These guys will start really dishing out some damage from further away. But we need to push them back and win so we can take this LOC. Right now, it's not looking too hopeful. I did move some troops over here just because I had to deal with... I feel like... I don't even know if this was an AI or not. Yeah, but I do charge my cav into see if he forms square. I wasn't sure if he was paying attention. And I go for it, I think. Commit. And I put some lines to kind of help out there. So, you know, I guess I could have marched my line infantry all the way over to that 4-pointer. I don't know if I made it there in time, to be honest. The UK are holding the pretty strong line here. More and more skirms, though, shifting over to the flank. We can just keep our distance from these lines and try to focus them down, shifting more and more forces over to this left side. Just because we need some reserves. We need some reinforcements here. I'm even shifting my general. I have one line, too, I think. I'm shifting over our grenadier unit. But we're running out of time with 4 minutes to go. And his lines are just charging these pioneers. And breaking them almost immediately. This flank definitely, you know, becoming a problem for the UK. So they're going to have to fall back once again, which has been kind of the story of this battle. Is the flanks that the French, that we were able to inflict on the... Oh my goodness, look at that artillery volley. Really smacking in and starting to whittle down this UK force, but what a brave last stand. One of the best last stands I've seen. In part because we have nothing to really throw at them. Anytime we did, we lost so heavily. I mean, man, anytime we attacked, it was brutality. But the artillery is starting to really help. Thankfully, we have that artillery. The UK reforming once again to meet this flank by España. France, España. Oh, are they going to get a bayonet charge? They're going to volley them first. Watch. Oh, countercharge. Wow. And this may be the beginning of the end here as we're starting to whittle down some forces. Marching down this road to go for this 4-pointer. Things are looking up a little bit more, and we're going to charge on several fronts here. Even I sent in some forces here. Had a reserve waiting just to charge in, but they broke mutually. And here goes the last stand of the UK. And the mass rout is probably going to start. And you can see this house at 53%, and so I think we finally did take it, and with only a minute 42 to go, guys, this UK force is still advancing. I think it came back, and now I'm not sure where it's going to plan on going. I think he was maybe going to try to take this one-pointer. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing at this point. Maybe he's just trying to, you know, break the force up so that we don't have to prolong this fight. But the last stand of this brave UK force, which did so much damage to us, forming a square and fighting bravely to the end. We taking this LSC. The only force that's left is this one line infantry here, and what a bloody fight, guys. It was just, I'm gonna fast forward here. It was terrible. Like, it was, I was concerned about losing. Like I said, in this area by the town, we were staying in the line fight. I thought we were gonna lose. So I threw in Cav in a desperate charge, as well as my ally. Both of us just did, because we both were talking about it, and we were like, well, I guess this is it. Like, we're going to lose. So let's just throw in our Cav and try bayonet charge to see if that works. And you see my Grenadiers, this Cav unit, guys, this is what saved me. This is the one I sent in. Really good Cav unit. If you ever play 6-point tie roll, get them. They are actually really good. I've had them in 3 different games, and they have done incredibly well. So highly recommend it. And you can see they got some good kills for just that one charge. Yeah, I don't think my artillery actually got that many kills. Some of my skirmishers that got charged in the very beginning didn't. Actually, this artillery didn't get that many kills. They both didn't. Unfortunately, they just never were able to get a good shot off on the enemy. But let me pull up the results here so we can show them. All right, guys, as you can see here, so Chain was playing as Russia Sud, Kylie as France Egypt, Barnabas as the France España, and me as 6-point tie roll. Definitely Kylie got the most kills, 1381, then Chain with 1147, and then Barnabas with 1064, then me 843. On the other side, we had DXRK as one of the 6-point UK. Okay, so there was a 6-point. I can remember the actual points. With 1419 kills. My goodness, got more kills than anybody else in the whole match. As a 6-pointer, that's pretty good. Then Denver's got 632, Valentine 1071, and then Grushi with 819. So, man, it was a vicious fight. I think we just finally got the upper hand. Obviously, on the other side, looks like they got the upper hand, sending in the infantry, that chunky Egyptian line infantry with all that cavalry support from Chain and Kylie. It really helped on their side. Then we were able to break through, and once we were able to catch them out of position and get into the town fight, I think that's what saved us. So anyway, it was a very fun game, and it also was streamed. So yeah, I streamed quite a bit of NGW3. If you want to join, you know, just I don't know, just keep an eye, I guess, for the announcements on my Discord, or you can be subscribed. That way you get notifications when I am streaming or when I post a video. So yeah, that'll be it for me today, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in another video.